TFA fam, welcome back into another Sunday show. Gave Robbie the boot. He was having some electricity problems. Apparently, didn't have enough gerbils or hamsters up in Kansas to keep those wheels turning. We also booted him off because last week Giraldi was the only one with the cojones to say to sit Mike Evans. Now, it didn't end up being as bad, but with especially with the question concerning ARSB versus Evans. That one turned out bad because ARSB obviously absolutely went off. So let's go ahead and jump into these questions. But first off, let's run over the Week 3 injury report, and then we'll start diving into the Q&As. Any questions, go ahead and load them up, and we'll get to them as we get there. But for the inactives and doubtfuls, we got Jacoby Myers, Christian Watson, Wandale Robinson, Kadarius Toney, and Taysom Hill. Got a bunch of questionables and a bunch of game time decisions. So Josh Jacobs, Julio Jones, James Conner, Jerry Jeudy, Dalton Schultz, and Keenan Allen. It does look like Jeudy is trending toward playing. Same thing with James Conner, but they're both going to test it out pre-game to see how it goes. With the Chargers, I don't know what they're going to do with Justin Herbert looking questionable. I guess he's going to give it a go pre-game as well, so we'll have to see on that. And then on the plus side of things, we have Russell Gage, Brashad Perriman, Leonard Fournette, Alvin Kamara, J.K. Dobbins. Looks like he's going to make his 2022 debut. Treylon Burks and Alan Lazard. So, with that out of the way, if I can figure out what I was... There we go. Here we go. Going to be a rough one, Giraldi. Hope you're ready to carry me.
Oh, it's good, man. I got my mimosa seltzer going. I'm ready to do this.
Dude, I grabbed an IPA right before we went to jump on, so this ought to be good. We got Welch in here talking about the Vols and the Jayhawks. Well, Vols look good. Jayhawks, I mean, let's pump the brakes. All right, our guy Porter coming in with the first question at the flex here for Sunday morning. Curtis Samuel or Shepard in the flex?
I'm still leaning Samuel.
Yeah,
it's a tough matchup.
Yeah. But I think I just don't know if I want any part of Daniel Jones. Like I get it, like with all the, it looks like Kadarius Toney doubtful, but he's not looking like he's going to play with his hamstring injury. Shepard's really the only one they have. Micah Parsons questionable, but I think he plays. But I think they have enough weapons there that and they've been getting Curtis Samuel involved in the run game as well. So I still lean Samuel as well, but it's a little bit closer than it's been the past 2 weeks. Texans D or Miami's D? I mean, definitely not going Miami's D.
No, man, sure. It's the Bills defense that are missing some key cogs today, but
lots.
Even with that being said, I mean, it's a two-sided coin, right? If Miami's able to kind of do what they've done the first couple games and go up and down the field, you're going to see more playing time potentially for the Dolphins defense. It's like, do you really want to be on the field a lot with Josh Allen against you? I mean, he doesn't take a lot of sacks. I mean, that's what you want from your bread and butter if they're going to give up a ton of points, right? Because, I mean, what's the current total on that? I mean, that's like the highest of the game or of the day, right? 53.5, and it's been bet up from 51.
Yeah, 50 to 53.5.
Yeah, so
85% of the money coming on the over.
It's the perfect recipe for a shootout. Meanwhile, though, you have the Texans and Bears, and again, this is where like some of the DFS stuff that's come out over the years to really like sharpen people's attention. This is where it can focus on your start sits, though. For like even something like a defense. It's like the total in this game's 39. It's the lowest of the day. Like and let's face it, the Bears offense, they've been sloppy.
That's putting it nicely.
I try to be nice early on. After I switch to beer, it might get a little more rowdy towards the Bears offense.
Yeah, this is definitely the Texans defense. It doesn't really matter to me what's going on with the the Buffalo defense, Josh Allen has been just raining points on the Miami defense. I think for like the past like 4 outings or something like that. I think they're averaging 30 something points. I think he put up like 40 against them not too long ago. So that is definitely the Texans if it's between those two for you. Porter. OKK Rich jumping in. Wilson, Bateman, Gordon, PPR flex.
I mean, it's between Wilson and Bateman, right? Like I assume this is Melvin Gordon?
I'm assuming.
I mean, I'm not putting him over Bateman or Wilson at this point. I mean, I'm probably leaning Bateman a hair over Wilson, but I think Wilson could do something today against Cincy.
Yeah, man, that one's tough because I also feel like the Elijah Moore, like his usage, I don't know that I'm buying into the Wilson over Moore just over 2 weeks, even though it's obviously heavily slanting toward Wilson. Basically any metric you want to look at, maybe outside of like snaps and routes run, because that jumped up for Wilson last week. It's just so hard to put your trust in Joe Flacco. Like,
yes. Yes.
Like, I'm going to go Bateman too, but the thing with Bateman is he's been living off of the 75-yard, 50-yard touchdown that's really saved his ass the past couple weeks. But if you're asking me to make this choice, I'm going to lean Bateman just because I can't trust. I just can't trust Joe Flacco. I know the Bengals have been struggling, but I think the Bengals get right in this game. I really like the pieces on the Bengals side to come out and have a good game, which is obviously going to put the Jets in negative game script, which is going to force them to pass more. But I'm going to go Bateman here. Albert O or Irv Smith?
I mean, I'm probably leaning Irv, just from even though like all the weapons on that offense, man, he still managed to get a couple good looking targets last week against Philly
and dropped the touchdown too.
He dropped the gimme. I mean that was a gimme. But I mean Albert O, he's getting opportunities a little bit, but it's just I don't know, man. I can't trust him. Not yet.
Yeah, I'm going to go Irv there as well. I mean, you would talk about an offense that's been struggling. That Denver offense, man. I guess it would make me feel a little bit better if Judy were out.
Yes.
But I'm still going to lean Irv. I thought, even though he didn't have a ton of fantasy points last week with the opportunities he got, again, mostly because he did drop that touchdown. I thought he looked good. His snaps went up from week one. So I do like that. And with Albert O, you have to contend with Fred Warner in the secondary there for San Fran. So I'm going to go Irv Smith. Walito, football indeed. Appreciate the super chat, my man. C. Crip, start CPAT, MT, or Garrett. I feel like we're going to have a lot of Garrett Wilson questions. CPAT, MT, or Garrett Wilson. We'll start with the first one.
I mean, I'm going Thomas. Unless Jameis's back is like broken like Superman's when he got killed. Like, no, man, I'm starting Thomas over those two for sure. And then the other one, I mean, when is Juju gonna do something, man? Like if there was a game where he should be able to, it might be today, but it's like, can you trust him on that offense? Like Justin Watson is getting these big plays, and Juju's like, what is he getting, man? He's getting like a couple of catches a game.
Kev touched on this. It was either on the live show or wide receiver rankings. I can't remember which one it was, but Kev was saying something about Juju performing better. I can't remember which one it was versus man or zone. And whatever one the Colts tend to run,
they run a bunch of zone.
Juju tends to do better with going up against that type of defense. So I think for the second one, I'm going to go Juju as well. That first one, man, I know the answer should be MT, and I know I just talked about not wanting to play, not wanting to trust Joe
Mhm.
Flacco, but I definitely do not like the matchup for. I you know what, I'm thinking about last week. I'm going to go MT here. I am going to go Michael Thomas. I'm thinking about last week. If it just feels like the the Saints and Tampa Bay play each other every single week.
Right.
So that's what I was thinking. I'm going to go MT there. I'm glad I talked myself out of that before I made myself look foolish. But it is a little bit concerning with me for MT. It's not like he's been living off of touchdowns. You know what I mean? It's not like he's been racking up a ton of catches or yards. He's had what, like 50, 60 yards each week, and he always bails you out with, with a touchdown.
Well, the distribution right now is, I mean, it's almost even across the board across five different or four different guys with Thomas, Olave, Landry, and Juwan Johnson. Like
Penn State, baby.
they're all getting between 17 and 24% target share. Like it's hard to choose outside of the touchdown equity which one is going to do good. In this one, I mean, I'm going to take proven talent until either it proves me wrong. Like Olave is the one guy that probably breaks out from there, right? Like Jarvis is just Jarvis.
Yeah. Joey C, we already hit on this one. This one is Bateman for both of us.
Yep.
Crab gravy. Elijah Moore, or you were just talking about him, Chris Olave.
Perfect segue. I'm taking Olave here.
Yeah, I'm taking Olave too. Like I said, I don't know that I buy into the usage between Moore and Wilson after 2 weeks. I think that evens out as we get a couple more weeks here under our belt. But I'm gonna go Olave here, swing for the fences. Crab gravy. Yeah, we did not get to do a prop show last night. Had something come up, but we will be back for week 4. Or you can always join the Discord. That link is in the description below. Absolutely free. We posted a couple of props in there today. We also have DFS, Redraft, Dynasty, all that stuff. So you can join the Discord if you guys are so inclined. And we obviously answer start sits there as well. Truth teller, are you starting Kamara today? Nervous if he has a snap count. I have Jeff Wilson in right now and Breece Hall on the bench.
I mean, I would pretty confidently, I think, start Jeff Wilson over him, at least for this week. Like just given the injury and whatnot, and like kind of the uncertainty. I mean, what's his? Let's see. When he practiced this week, did he practice?
Yeah, I think he was.
He was limited
He's
all week.
questionable. Looks like he's trending toward playing, so he at least got in some limited.
Yeah, I mean, he probably wear like a flak jacket or something too. I mean, I'm not starting Breece Hall over Kamara. I think there's a case for Jeff Wilson with his usage and the fact that yet another Niners running back down the depth chart is gone. So it's like you do have a full bell cow role for Wilson in this opportunity, but I mean, it's just what's your risk aversity here? Like, how much are you willing to gamble on with Kamara being, a full role?
If Kamara goes, I'm playing him. It's nice that you have Jesus Tan. You can't TN. You can't keep doing this, man. This is too much, dude. You are the undisputed GOAT, my lord. We're gonna throw this one up here. But yes, I'm going to go Kamara there, Truth. Not a great matchup for Jeff Wilson going up against Denver. That run D has been performing pretty well through the first 2 weeks. Now, granted, not the most talent that they have faced, but if Kamara goes, I'm going to play him. I'm not going to sit him for someone like Jeff Wilson, even though the usage and the role does lean toward Jeff Wilson. So if you're nervous, I don't hate going Jeff Wilson over Kamara, but I would lean Kamara if he starts. So jumping down here to TN, just my God, just I don't need. I'm at a loss for words every single time this happens, man. You are way too kind. We really appreciate you, man. I'll say it every time. He was literally one of TFA's first YouTube subscribers. It was like Kev, his son, and then and then TN. So let's go ahead and answer this question. Half PPR, we need a tight end, Goddard or Kittle, who looks like he is going to have no restrictions. Looks like he is good to go today. So let's start there.
I'm going Goddard still, but it's very close. Like with Jimmy G back too. I mean, like I can start trusting the skill players for the Niners again.
Yeah.
I mean, I think both of see, it's tough. Like in terms of like upside versus floor, right? Because like you would probably say Goddard's floor is
Safer.
higher, but I mean at the same time, like, is it?
I think it is, just because if San Fran does what San Fran wants to do, is obviously run the ball, and Kittle is one of the best run blocking tight ends that we have in the NFL. And if you have rostered Kittle over the past couple of years, it is absolutely infuriating. His end of season numbers always look fantastic, because he ends up having an 8 for 150 and 2 kind of game. So you look at his points per game at the end of the year, you're like, man, he was tight end 3. But they're like, I have Kittle on a dynasty team, and he was like always like my 6th starter. And there's games, man, where he puts up 2 for 24, 3 for 45. So with this being his first game back, I'm going to lean Goddard as well, because I don't think that like this isn't like we're talking about like, hey, Irv Smith got some run last week, he looks a little bit better, I'm going to try. Like, Goddard has been putting up really good numbers. We saw Devonta Smith get involved last week, but I think that had a lot to do with AJ Brown getting banged up and leaving that game just for a few plays or a drive or whatever he missed. He didn't miss a ton of time, but I'm going to go ahead and lock in Goddard on that first one. Like his matchup a little bit more as well. And then QB, Carr or Tua. This one's Tua for me. I know Carr is in a nice spot as well, going up against a Tennessee team that finally seems to be getting smacked around. I don't know why. I'm not really invested in NFL teams, but for some reason I hate the Titans. I can't stand them. I don't know why. I hate them. It's good to see them finally getting smacked around and getting proven to be frauds. But Tua, with this game total, with Buffalo missing all the pieces that they are, this is Tua. I love that game for props, for DFS, for redraft, whatever it is.
Yep.
And absolutely prepare for a 21-17 game.
Yep.
Because that's what happens. I'm gonna leave this one up here for a while and give it the sunshine it deserves. So gonna just read off a couple of these questions and not throw them up on the screen. 1KC Dot. Good morning. This is a hard one, but should I start Scary Terry versus the Eagles or Adam Thielen versus Detroit? Or if we want a third option, Shepard versus the Cowboys. So Scary Terry, Adam Thielen, Sterling Shepard in a full PPR.
I mean, I'm starting McLaurin. I mean, I know the Eagles defense has played, they played fairly well last week. They did, play kind of
one.
Well, here's the thing too is, to your point that you mentioned about Irv Smith with the drop touchdown. If he scores that touchdown, are we still praising the Eagles defense quite as much as people were? You know what I mean? Like, because it's one play, and that wasn't like a defensive breakup or any. I mean, that was a walk into the end zone for Irv. Like, he blew past coverage. It was kind of embarrassing. So it's like, the Eagles defense might not be like what they look better than last year a little bit, but they're not world beaters, right? Like, and McLaurin, I mean, he's had his moments against them.
Does Darius Slay shadow? I'm assuming no, right?
I mean, he probably will play. I forget. I thought he played a bunch of snaps on McLaurin last year.
Now I'm just thinking, like, now with Bradbury there, like, do they need to shadow with having that corner pairing. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. I mean,
I
like,
didn't know if the Eagles defense played sides or if they did play matchups like that. I'm still gonna
he's
go scary. I'm still gonna go scary Terry here as well. I wish I could say Adam Thielen, like he hasn't been getting like the usage that we want to see. Even last week with them trailing that entire game, you know what I mean? Like I he only saw what like maybe like 7-8 targets or something like that. I think last week, yes, the Eagles defense is getting better, but Kirk Cousins was just dreadful. I
yes,
feel like Kirk Cousins just put them in a hole that they could not get out of. So many questionable, just like what are you doing kind of throws, like throwing directly
yeah.
to defenders, throwing short on some of those end zone fades and everything like that. So I'm gonna go scary Terry there. I wish I could say Thielen, but I want to see him get more involved and do more until I say that. Scary Terry still been getting the last week his targets bumped up. He was only behind Curtis Samuel after I swore that wasn't going to happen again. Curtis Samuel still did out target him, but give me Scary Terry there. And I think that game probably has a similar number of points played as well. Moving on to Alexis's question. Are we going to know for sure if before 2 o'clock, if Fournette plays or not? If not, I have to plug in Gallup. If we know before 2 o'clock, I could plug in Juju. Yeah, it seems like Fournette's going to play. Listed as questionable, but he is trending toward playing. So I'm definitely not going to play Gallup in that game.
No.
Just gross. Talking about backup quarterback. Juju is interesting to pivot to, but I'm going to stay with Fournette there. We just saw David Montgomery rip off 130 yards, I think it was, on like 15 carries. So I like Fournette in that matchup.
Yeah. And he
Brandon Neagle. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying Fournette should play. Like there's no reason to think he won't at this point now.
Wide receiver 2 spot here for Brandon. DJ Moore, Garrett Wilson. We need a Garrett Wilson count, Forte. I thought we were going to get a lot of questions on him. That's why I put Garrett Wilson as the thumbnail for the show. So far, I'm right.
That 3 or 4.
I think that's 3 so far.
Yeah.
We need like we need a producer behind the scenes to hit like a ding to give us like a button every time it goes off. But DJ Moore, Garrett Wilson, or A-Rob in a full PPR here for Brandon.
The A-Rob addition to that little either or one kind of makes it interesting for me. Like last week was what we thought we were getting from the Rams, right, for fantasy purposes.
Yeah.
Like Kupp got his, A-Rob got his in the end zone. You know, even Henderson like gets some. It was Higbee did decent. It was like the perfect storm of like if you drafted Rams at or around their ADP, like you last week was what you thought week 1 and beyond was going to be. And honestly, I mean, seeing A-Rob's red zone usage, like that to me was like encouraging more so than anything, because like that's what we used to see A-Rob doing, right? Like he was a touchdown threat.
And that's what we also heard during the offseason as well, during training camp, is that they really like using A-Rob inside the 20.
And the Cardinals defense right now in the red zone and it's just 2 games, but I mean
trash.
It's bad. It's bad. And so like to me, I'm playing A-Rob in this one. And I mean that's just a game that point should be everywhere, hopefully, on the Ram side at least. I don't know about I don't know if I trust the Cardinals team props, but you got Kyler, so
yeah, I'm going A-Rob there as well. Simple thing for me is the best game environment in terms of implied point total points for what that line is in that game. And then you're talking about unquestionably the best quarterback out of that group as well. So give me A-Rob there, Brandon. Going to rock with him. I know, obviously Garrett Wilson has had probably the better fantasy output. But like I said, if you're asking me to choose between Matt Stafford or Joe Flacco, we're going Matt Stafford. Truth teller, I know you guys said to go with Damian Pierce over Connor and CPAT. Is that still the right move? I'm going with Pierce. I don't want to mess around. Like, it seems like Connor should play, but the fact that like he's a game time decision, it's coming down this close. Connor doesn't have the greatest bill of health through his years. Like, this could be something where he tries to go, and within the first quarter, first half, he's getting rotated in because Darrell Williams looked pretty good last week. So I don't think they have to go out there and absolutely just run Connor if he's not feeling great. And then on the other side of it, I'm not convinced that James Conner is going to be the unquestioned pass catching back out of that group either. And I think we're expecting the Cardinals to get down in this game as well. So Connor, obviously, his upside comes with being the goal line back and the guy who's going to score you touchdowns. I don't see it. And then Pierce, I really like Pierce's matchup going up against the Bears run D.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, in that one, it's a little too dicey with Connor.
Yeah, I'm not ready to trust that. CHB, good morning, guys. Start 2 running backs in a full PPR. Damian Harris, Rashad Penny, Ramondre Stevenson, or Mostert. Harris, so one of the 2 New England backs, Penny, Mostert.
I mean, I'm locking in Mostert for sure. Like,
Okay.
in this game with all of that and his usage thus far, like Mostert for sure is getting locked in on that one. Like, I have a little bit too much of him probably in DFS today because he's one of those guys that, I mean, like, we've seen what he can do when he gets this kind of usage. Like, and he's kind of doing it a little bit with this Miami offense too. And like, I don't know what it will take for him to kind of get that recognition that when he is healthy and when he is kind of dominating snaps in an offense, that he can do, running back 1 numbers. Like, the other one though is tough. I mean, I don't know out of that quagmire what you kind of think. Like, the Patriots, like, Ramondre kind of got like more of the work than Harris, but I feel like Harris looks better at times. And then Penny, it's like Kenneth Walker's back now, and the Falcons, at least through 2 games, have been pretty stout against the run thus far.
I don't want to make the wrong choice between the New England backs. Like they're still splitting. Like, if this were a case where Ramondre were getting 65% of the usage. I know his snaps went up a good bit last week. Looking at it right now, 25% of the snaps week 1, 62% of the snaps in week 2. He does seem like he is the preferred pass catching back. I think Baltimore, obviously gets ahead in this game. I think New England is kind of getting shown for what they are. I think they overperformed where they were last year. But like I said, I don't want to make the wrong choice between them. So I'm going to go Penny and Mostert just because, if there were a different running back included in here between those 4, would take a longer look at them. But again, like I said, I don't want to choose the wrong New England back. So this could have, like, I don't even know if he's active or not, but like, this could be a JJ Taylor game. You know what I mean? Like, this could be someone just out of nowhere. Like, this is what New England does. Could just be someone we're not expecting at all. So I'm going to go Penny and Mostert there, like I said, just because I don't want to make the pick between those New England backs.
Yeah, and watch. This will be one where Chase Edmonds, he goes 5 for 75 on the ground, and then he catches like 5 balls.
Right. I mean, Mostert did get routes and targets last week as well. So like I said, that one's a little bit easier for me just because of the New England backs being included in there. Appreciate the question. Braden, full PPR pick 1, Sanders, McLaurin, or Curtis Samuel?
Well, ignore the hat on this one, but I mean, I'm probably torn between McLaurin and Samuel, honestly, on this. Like Sanders looks good, But again, it's that same situation that we've seen with the Eagles backfield for, I mean, since Doug Peterson was there. It's like, even if Miles Sanders looks good, the other guys are getting usage. And it's like inside the goal line, like, is it going to be Boston Scott? Is it going to be Kenneth Gainwell? Like, to me, it's probably between the Commanders, right? Like that's their name, not the football team, or like it's man, that's tough because again, like there is the McLaurin, and I was looking actually while we were doing that other question about McLaurin, and his stats against Slay have actually been pretty damn bad. And so it does make me wonder, but see, then that's just it, So it's like if you do have Slay locking down McLaurin, who's Wentz going to go to? It's probably going to be Curtis Samuel, Logan Thomas, right? Like, and Samuel, it wouldn't surprise me to see them try and stretch because the Eagles front four, front seven, like they've been pretty decent. Like when Jordan Davis comes on the field, like the splits with their run defense. And it's like I could see that misdirection with Samuel, seeing him get a couple carries today, getting some of those short passes to see like, whether the Eagles defense can cover sideline to sideline.
I think I'll take the safe option here. I don't know how high Sanders' ceiling is, but I think he is the safest out of this group. I really like the matchup. He's been getting targets. They haven't turned into much. He's getting 3 catches for like 7 yards. So it's not like but the fact that they're at least there and he's getting targeted is obviously a plus versus not getting the targets at all. And then that Washington run D is not something that I am afraid of whatsoever. Like I said, usage leans towards Sanders as well. So I think if these are my 3 options, I'm going to take this safer one, and I am going to go Sanders here. But I do like the McLaurin and Curtis Samuel. But picking between those 2 Washington receivers and Sanders, I'm going to go Sanders here just because I think he is the safest. Samuel probably has the upside, but I'm gonna go Sanders here, even in a full PPR. Johnny B. Good, Burks or Elijah Moore in a PPR.
I mean, it's the Raiders D, right? Like, and going back into the Flacco, and see, this is the tough one with like the Flacco versus Tannehill, because Tannehill looked bad last week too. And it's like, granted, it was the Bills, but it's like, man, he looked bad. And I mean, you gotta think that the seat's warming up a little bit for him. So I mean, this could be a little bounce back spot for the Titans. Like I kind of liked the way that Burks got involved last week too. Like it looked like Burks and Woods both were kind of like a little more involved. Obviously, game script dictated that, but it was encouraging to see those 2 receivers get theirs. So I would take Burks here over Moore.
This one's close just because at least we know that Elijah Moore is going to be on the field 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think Burks is clearly the best wide receiver that the Titans have.
Yeah.
But they're still getting old ass Robert Woods involved. They're taking Burks off the field. I'm gonna go Elijah Moore, but it's closer than it should be. I think maybe I talked about this before. If Burks is still out there in your leagues, I'm picking him up because I don't want to wait until the breakout happens, because I do think he's gonna end up having like an AJ Brown type of game where it's 5 for 100 and a score. He's gonna have one of those soon, but I lean Elijah Moore there. And then Pierce, A-Rob, or Garrett Wilson in a half PPR.
half PPR, I'm probably going Pierce, just barely over A-Rob. But I like the way that Pierce's usage looked last week. He looked. I mean, come on, man. Like, we're talking Damian Pierce versus Rex Burkhead. Like, that's some Lovey Smiths kind of stuff. Like come on. Like, just, yeah. In half PPR, like, I mean, it's not a big swing at times, but I mean, in this situation, like, I'm going for a guy that should get some good usage, but I'm not putting Wilson above either of those two today. Not this week.
I just wanted to look up the pace of play for both those teams before I said something that was stupid. It feels like both those teams play at a slower pace of play. I guess Houston is actually fourth in neutral seconds per play. It was not, and Chicago is actually ninth. I mean, either way, I was just looking for something to back up my answer. That did not give me the stats I was looking for. But I'm still going to go A-Rob here, just because that game looks to have more points scored. Pierce I do like, but I'm still going to go A-Rob here. Like you were touching on a little bit, we saw him get more involved in week 2. The red zone usage is there. So I'm going to go A-Rob, but Pierce could be your safer option, as crazy as it is to say that. But I'm going to go A-Rob there. Then Walito just coming through with the Brandon Cooks confirmation bias. Jalen Johnson is out. That is a big deal. That is a big deal, because on the other side you're looking at a rookie cornerback. So don't know. This is the thing, though. Brandon Cooks is always getting more involved whenever they're playing from behind, and I don't know if that necessarily happens. So obviously not a bad thing, but I don't know if I'm saying smash.
I'm kind of astonished at that pace of play thus far too. Like, I just pulled it up, and like, seeing the Texans and the Bears in top 10 in neutral plays per second, like, that's wild to me, because it seems like both of them have just been like molasses in January with their tempo and everything. And wow, yeah.
Truth teller, Derek Carr is available. Don't know who to drop, if any. Benches A-Rob, D-Hop, Wilson, Hall, or stick with Russ. I don't want to, because then you're going to be talking about, now you have 2 quarterbacks, and then you're going to be looking next week, if you have to pick someone up, which one are you going to drop? And if you don't drop one of them, then you're always going to be torn between who to play, and you're always going to pick the wrong one. So just stick with Russ there. They're going to get it figured out. They didn't have any time together in the preseason, talking about a new offense and everything else. So I'm going to stay there. Killer Quicks over on Twitch. Is Chicago defense a decent start, or look to waivers? Top 5 available are Cincinnati, Chargers, Giants, Houston, and Minnesota. I'm going Chargers there. Even with Herbert being out, I still like that Chargers defense. I know that line had a massive drop from 7.5 all the way down to 3.5 so that tells me that Vegas knows that Herbert is probably out for this game. But either way, that doesn't change on the other side. You're still talking about Trevor Lawrence, a young team, going up against the Chargers defense. Now, J.C. Jackson is out, I believe, or at least he was doubtful the last time I looked.
Yeah, I think he's out.
But still, the big thing you're worrying about there is Christian Kirk, who plays in the slot, so he wouldn't be seeing J.C. Jackson anyway. So I'm going to go the Chargers there. I put together a streaming video, and I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but Trevor Lawrence, I think, is like top 12 in terms of pressure rate, like being pressured, but it's only turned into like 2 sacks, maybe like 1 or 2 picks or something like that. So the Chargers are going to get after him, and I think they can cause some issues here for Trevor Lawrence. Robbie,
Morning, boys.
Did you put Alex on the bike to make her pedal to give you electricity?
Sent her up to the pole, electrical pole, did all the nuts and bolts. She got it going. We're rocking.
Speaking of get it going and rocking, we are like a half hour behind on questions. So let's try and breeze through a couple of these. Robbie, you're going to be on the hot seat here. Let's get that voice warmed up. Burrow or Stafford here for your guy Porter?
Yeah, Porter. Let's go, Joe Burrow here.
Are we giving Kyle Pitts one more chance or stay with Dallas Goedert?
I think this is the bounce back game for Kyle Pitts, although Dallas Goedert is not a bad secondary tight end to have, but I will have Kyle Pitts higher this week.
One more chance. Just one.
One more time.
I would go Goddard there until I see it from Pitts. Just because like his usage is concerning. It's not like he's getting, I know week 1 he had more targets, but then like last week, week 2, only 3, I think. So like until Mariota starts looking Pitts' way over Drake London, because I don't think he is, supporting both as fantasy relevant options. Until that starts to happen, it's not like Dallas Goedert is a bad play. It's not like you're,
that's correct.
Okay, well, hopefully if Dallas Goedert gets a touchdown, he can save you. He's still getting the targets. He's still getting the yards. So I would go Dallas Goedert there over Pitts, and I think that's how I have them ranked. I think I have Pitts down at like 7 or 8 this week, and I think Goddard is above him. ETN or Singletary over on Facebook for Ricky.
This one's close, but I will still stick with ETN. He's dropped down a little bit after the first 2 weeks in the usage, but when he gets the touches, he does look good. I'm going to keep ETN above Singletary there.
Me too. The Chargers defense they're in the top 12, I think, for receptions and yards given up to running backs, and they're tied for the first most receiving touchdowns giving up to RBs. Is Knox going to play? It looks like he is trending that way. He was questionable, but I do think he plays. P. Studer. Good morning, guys. Who do you like more today, Higbee or Kittle? This one is interesting as well. We had a Goddard versus Kittle question earlier. I think me and Giraldi were split on that. Higbee I think he has 20 targets for the first 2 games. Who do we like here?
Yeah, I have them 2 spots apart, but I have Kittle above Higbee, and I'll stick with that.
Giraldi, where do you lean here? I'm assuming if you had Kittle over Goddard, you're going to have Kittle over Higbee.
No? To me, Higbee's like, I mean, he's top 2 or 3 tight end this week to me. Arizona's trash against tight ends. Like, give me Higbee.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah. Like, this one, I think he's just going to – him and Kupp are just going to fucking eat.
I don't know what Higbee's price is over on DK, but on FanDuel, very, very palatable. I have him plugged into, I think, both of my cash lineups. I like Higbee there as well. I want to see it from Kittle first. I don't know how many targets he gets in his first game back. We're told he's not going to have any restrictions, but like I said, if this ends up being a run-heavy script, Kittle's going to block, and he could get 2 for 24. Well, on the other side of that, he could go off for 8 for 150 and 2.
Your ceiling is much higher with Kittle for sure.
Yeah. Shepard or Devonta Smith?
Better quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm going with the dude with the better quarterback.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think Shepard might be safer? Question mark? I'm Ron Burgundy.
Burgundy.
But I'm going to go Devonta Smith there. I think that ceiling is much higher.
Yeah.
Tua over Cousins for J2 Nice.
Yes.
I don't think I'll have that. I'll have Cousins above Tua, but as you pointed out on the Wednesday show, Cody, and I'm sure you guys have already touched on it, that Bills secondary is 3 rookies, I believe, 3 total starts.
Schefter put out a tweet. Yeah, three starts between their secondary. Not only that, there's both their starting safeties, their Pro Bowl safeties, are also out.
Right. I would like to say that the D line is still probably one of the best in football, and that defense, the secondary is obviously unproven.
Out.
Who's that?
Ed Oliver is out for Buffalo.
Yeah, they're definitely banged up. Yeah, I'll still have Kirk above Tua going against Detroit, who has not played good against the pass either in their own right. Yeah. So close though.
This one's really close. Man, I don't know where I have these guys in my ranks. I'm assuming they're neck and neck.
If Tua had scored 3 touchdowns instead of 6 last week, I don't know if we're quite putting him in the top 6 quarterback. I have Kirk Cousins as a QB7. So I feel
I'll go Cousins here as well, just to break the tie. Rain 24. Should I trade AJ Dillon for Hollywood and Brees?
Yeah. Yesterday.
Yeah, I'll do that. Another Kittle question. Kittle or Irv? This is where I'm going to answer Kittle for the first time. I am going to go George Kittle here over Irv.
Yeah, I like Irv this week, but I'm not taking him over Kittle.
No.
Cousins or Rodgers? This is going to be Cousins for me.
Yeah.
Mouse getting a little sticky there. Gallo. It's weird phrasing. Do I start Mike Williams if Herbert is out? I'm probably not. Gallo, if you're still rocking with us, let us know. Okay, here. Followed it up. Good job, Gallo. Williams without Herbert or Elijah Moore or Burks? Oh, boy.
I'll probably stick with Mike Williams there. Keenan Allen did not practice on Friday, if I recall correctly.
He is questionable.
Yeah. And so Chase Daniel, I think, is probably capable of supporting Mike Williams. I think, didn't we have this last year, Cody, where we were like, is Chase Daniel going to be able to do it? Mike Williams started off so hot, but then he fell off. And I think we should trust Chase Daniels to be competent enough to get a talent like Mike Williams with no Keenan Allen potentially. I'm starting him over Elijah Moore and Treylon Burks. Yeah.
It's hard to remember the Chase Daniel splits because I think he's on his 17th team as a backup. So that this might have been a different team a couple years ago.
Right.
I'm going to go Elijah Moore without Herbert. I'm just worried that we potentially see like a safer game script. I think a lot of Mike Williams, upside obviously comes with the 20, 30-yard passes downfield. I think we could potentially see a heavy dose of Palmer and Gerald Everett if Keenan is out. And if Keenan isn't out, it's going to be the Keenan Allen show, I believe. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go Elijah Moore there, but only be over Burks. We had this question earlier, Elijah Moore or Burks. And I leaned Elijah Moore just because I feel like at the very least, we can trust him to be on the field for 90% of the snaps. And I don't think we can say the same thing about Treylon Burks.
Sure.
Giraldi, break the tie. Who you got?
I'm probably still taking Williams. Even with shitty Chase. Like, his splits aren't terrible without Herbert, too. Like, I'm gonna take the overall better talent.
Yeah,
it makes sense. Killer Quicks, with Dalton Schultz questionable, am I comfortable starting Logan Thomas, or do I look to waivers? And we're looking at Conklin, Tanyan, Ingram, Jawan Johnson, Penn State great, or Cole Kmet. I'm going Logan Thomas.
Yeah, I have this exact same situation, and I'm currently starting Logan Thomas. Carson making his appearance, first one of the Sunday morning show.
Did mommy buy you another toy?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Iron
Man. All right.
Yes.
Go play. Say bye.
Bye.
That's a sign. That's a sign. Carson Wentz to Logan Thomas. Carson coming into the room. We're gonna go Logan Thomas there.
There we go. Which defense do I pick up this week? Dallas Eagles or Bengals?
Bengals, I think. Let me pull up all those matchups. But Bengals go against the Jets. I'm pretty sure I have them as a top 4 defense.
Interesting. Michael, I'd be interested to know who is your, unless you don't have a defense at this point.
Yeah, because that follow-up one is pretty clutch here.
Michael, let us know if you just need a defense in general or who your defense is right now before we drop them for anyone, because I don't know. I mean, I think Carter would be the drop, but I want to know if you have a defense currently rostered. Logan, pick 2: Edmonds, MVS, Palmer, Mac Hollins, Devontae Parker in a full PPR.
Dude, that is a start-sit question right there.
I mean, a lot of these guys are hard to trust, but if the game script goes where we assume the Bills' offense is still scoring early and often, Miami's going to have to play catch up. I'm gonna pick Chase Edmonds as the back that's probably on the field more than Mostert, who will get probably not a ton of run, but I think should be at least that guy to get the receiving work. Unless you want to take the absolute just dart side up throw or upside throw that MVS is going to catch a deep bomb there. I guess MVS would be kind of that really big risk reward, but I'd probably go Chase Edmonds there.
Yeah, who do you got for your second one? Pick 2.
Yeah, let's roll with those two. Unless Herbert is playing, then I'll slide in Josh Palmer. But it's probably Chase Edmonds, MVS. The dynasty darling of Mac Hollins. I really want to say Mac Hollins, but I can't do it.
I'm going to go Edmonds and Palmer, assuming that Keenan Allen is out. Because we've seen
Herbert's in,
even without Herbert.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Just because I think if Keenan Allen is out, Josh Palmer slides into that role. He can play inside and outside. So I think, being in this slot, you're thinking easier targets, lower ADOT targets, and who knows, because Palmer was running with the ones, but maybe there is some chemistry already built in with Daniels to Palmer.
Yeah, I can't trust Devontae Parker. I mean, even with Myers out, I mean, like, it's kind of crazy how little of a target share he has. Like, he's tied with Ramondre Stevenson and Hunter Henry for target share. Like, I don't know what they're doing with him. I mean, maybe this is the game where he gets peppered with some targets, but I mean, Nelson Aguilar right now looks like the 1B to Jacoby Myers. And I mean, like, if I'm starting a Patriots receiver this week, it's Aguilar. But I mean, I'm taking Chase Edmonds over all of them. I know last week didn't make many Edmonds fans or teams happy, but I mean, this is the perfect kind of game script for him. And I mean, him and Mostert could really do well. Like, it's kind of the floor versus ceiling, because MVS probably has one of the highest ceilings, right? Like, if Mahomes connects with him on a 60+ yarder, I mean, he's gonna have a higher point output than any of these guys realistically are gonna reach.
Yep, probably worth the shot too.
I mean, in this game, Patrick Mahomes he eats against the cover 2. I mean, like, the Colts, that's predominantly all they run. Mahomes has burned that in the past. Like, his splits over the week, like, I was looking at a bunch of tweets and whatnot that came in with, like, the split differential of him versus man and zone and, like, cover 2. And it's just Mahomes could absolutely wreck shop today.
Wreck shop.
Beasley, Jamal Williams, or Ayuk at the flex for John Wilhelm?
Ayuk.
Yep. I would have them in reverse order of rankings for how you have them there, John. But Ayuk at the top.
That's that Jimmy G effect too for Ayuk.
Correct.
Hamoob, full PPR. Risk it with Lazard or play it safe with A. You're going A-Rob over Lazard. For show. Anthony, at RB2, full PPR, Henderson or Hines? Interesting. And a full PPR, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think Hines with again, we talk about the game script. How is that game most likely to be going against the Chiefs? You're expecting Hines to probably be pretty involved. He's been this safe 8 to 11 points, and then I think in this type of situation, you can maybe even bump that up. So I think he can get you double-digit points in a PPR setting.
I'm going to go Hines there as well, just because we saw Akers get more involved. Like, does that mean that Akers takes the next step and, in week 3 and starts to overtake Henderson? I don't know. Obviously, both these running backs are going to be splitting touches regardless, but in a full PPR, I'm going to go Hines. Compton, Higbee, Burks, or Penny in the flex? I'm going Higbee.
I'm Higbee as well.
Okay.
Higbee or Ertz? I'm going Higbee here as well.
Yep.
I'm not where you guys are at with Higbee. I think we've had 2 weeks where he's had good target share, but I don't know if that's his season, right? I don't want to overweight the first 2 weeks. I think Allen Robinson will take that secondary target role, where Higbee's going to be averaging maybe more 5 targets a game. Maybe some games he's at 7, some games he's at 4. But he's not the guy we've seen the first 2 weeks talent wise. So I don't want to overweight the first 2 weeks. So again, we gotta put him higher in our rankings because of what we've seen. But this one's right there. I'll have Ertz 1 spot above him. But I can understand why people want to play Higbee. I don't want us to get caught where he's now 4 targets in this game, 3 for 30, and we're like, what happened with Higbee? I don't know if you know what I'm saying. Am I off my rocker there?
No, I got you. I lean the now. I don't know that the Rams have played the heaviest talent at the tight end position, so I think that those splits could be flipped a little bit, because on the other side, I think the Cardinals have played Waller and Kelsey through the first 2 weeks. So, but either way, that Cardinals defense it's just not it, man.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think we could see regression for Higbee coming, but I don't know that it's in this matchup week 3.
Yeah. I would like to say that the Cardinals, I forget the exact stat, but their biggest weakness last year was against wide receiver 2s. They actually did okay against wide receiver 1s. No one's locking down Cooper Kupp, but wide receiver 2s going all the way through last season have absolutely destroyed. And so I think this is where we can see the actual A-Rob bounce back. We kind of saw it last week, but I think this could be that absolute bounce back, which might come at the expense of Higbee. At least that's how I'm ranking it this week.
Shepard, Dorsch, or a Patriots wide receiver? Myers is out, so no assumption there, Anthony. I'm going to go Dorsch.
I'll go Shepard. Micah Parsons is questionable, flu-like symptoms. That would really, really hurt the Cowboys' pass rush. It's true. What a stud.
Right. Giraldi, who you got here?
Yeah.
I feel like Giraldi's going to say Aguilar. Aren't you?
Oh man, as tempting as that would be, I'm drinking a little bit of the Kool-Aid, man, with Dortch.
Let's go.
Like, as long as Rondell's out, in which he is, yeah, give me that dude.
Mike Will, Sutton, St. Brown, or Tyreek. We need to sit. Oh my gosh, I'm going to sit Mike Will, assuming that's what a great group there, Justin. Very well done. But yes, assuming that Herbert is out, we're going to sit Mike Will.
If he's not out, do you change your answer? I think I'm sitting Mike Williams either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that grouping.
Yeah. With all the injuries to the Bills secondary, is Tua a possible start over Burrow?
No, not for me. He's there. Like, we get it, but again, if it was 3 touchdowns, not 6, I don't know if we're having that conversation.
But that Cincy offense has not looked good to start the year. Not that the Jets are going to be the team to continue to give them troubles, but
I don't want to look at the sack totals and act like the Bengals offense hasn't scored fantasy points. Mixon has been fantastic. Higgins has had his week. Chase has had his week, and they face the Jets. Like this they could put it all together, and Burrow could be a top 3 quarterback this week, and I don't think we'd be surprised at all.
I do see the thing that makes this hard is I do think this is the bounce back week for the entire Cincy offense. Drawley, who you got here?
It's a toss up here. I mean, like I'm in love with Tua this week, but you know there is the possibility here that like maybe this game, you know, it's a divisional game, so I mean like they can tend to be a little bit tighter.
Mm-hmm.
And with those injuries to Buffalo's defense, you know, it's like I mean, if I'm Miami, what's the best way to beat the Bills? Keep Josh Allen and the offense off the field. Like, this could be a situation where, like, if Tua throws 280 and 2, right? But Burrow and the Bengals offense, like you said, man, like they have produced for fantasy purposes. Like, take aside the sacks. Like, most leagues don't dock you for a sack. And even if they do, it's usually like -1 unless you're in the crazy scoring settings. And I mean, this is a game where, you know, Higgins is fully healthy again. Chase, like Hayden Hurst has looked good. Like I could see a lot of possibilities with, like, if you're looking at floor versus ceiling, like Burrow might have better ceiling, better floor, but again, like I can't go against how I've set up for this week, and so I'll lean Tua, but it's close.
I guess I have to break the tie here. I'm gonna go Burrow, but trade one of them.
Right.
Get rid of one of them so you don't have this quagmire every
I mean,
single week.
this is one where you could trade one of those guys for a guy like Breece Hall or Dameon Pierce, or, you know, like, and maybe something else on top. Just
probably no better time to trade Tua, right? Like, one of them still has the 6 touchdown game potential this season, right? Like, let's see if Burrow can hit that here in this game.
And the end of the season gap isn't going to be that much to where you're going to really miss one or the other.
Yep.
Yeah. Hope that Burrow pops off and then put both of them on the trade block, and then whatever the highest one you get is, you take that one. That like either way, I like both of those guys rest of the season. Tua or Carr, we already answered one of these. This is going to be Tua for me. Robbie, do you have a different opinion? It doesn't look like it.
Nope.
Let's keep moving here. Laura and Jim Cooperman, the great senators out of the state of Wyoming, need to start doing here a PPR. I don't know. I hope you guys don't take that the wrong way. I don't know where that came from, but now you guys are the senators from Wyoming. We need 2 in a full PPR: Ayuk, Lazard, Davis, Devonta Smith, or Dortch. Ayuk, Devonta. I'm not going to overweight I'm not a fan of the matchup for Lazard. Not a fan of that game at all. I think that total is like 41.5, 43.5, which if you would have told me at the beginning of the year that we were going to have a sub 48 total for Rodgers versus Brady, I would have told you were crazy. Not going to overweight Corey Davis just getting completely behind on a blown call and scoring that long touchdown. And then when it comes down to Dortch versus Smith, like, I think Dortch might actually have the safer floor, but I like Devonta Smith in that matchup. So I'm going to go Ayuk and Devonta Smith.
Giraldi?
I mean, Ayuk for me, agree. And then, yeah, the injuries with the Packers, man, with Watkins being out, Watson being out, like, it's one thing if Lazard had all the other people around him. Like, I just don't trust him as a top alpha receiver against any defense, really. Yeah, so it's between Devontae and Dortch for me. I'd probably take Devontae, just better talent. But it's close for me for Devontae and Dortch on that one. But I'm leaning those two over the other two options.
Robbie.
It's Smith and Ayuk, but I'm really intrigued by Lazard. Didn't have a full snap share in his first week back. Like we said, Watson's out. Watkins is out. I do think Lazard could have that game, but I'll put him right behind those other two options.
Tua or Stafford for Justin. I am going to lean Stafford, but it's close.
Tua for me.
Giraldi?
This is where the Tua love is going to burn me, I think, because I'm going to take Tua by a hair, and so I'm on the hook now.
DC King, good morning. Good morning to you. Flex question: Henderson, Thielen, Curtis Samuel, half PPR.
Man, that's tough. I'm gonna
go with Samuel, but I don't love it.
Oh man. Again,
It's
that's
with him and Thielen.
I'll go Thielen, who has not shown you any reason to be a starter yet. So it's like there's no logic when we've watched 2 weeks of the season. But I'm not overweighting 2 weeks where Samuel has been the number one targeted wide receiver in that offense. I don't think that continues. And Thielen has not been involved minus the fourth quarter of last week. Thielen, give me a touchdown.
You got Giraldi.
I'll probably take Samuel.
Gabe Davis or AJ Dillon at the flex. Full PPR is going to be Gabe Davis for me.
Yeah, did you guys see that video that someone posted? Was it Wednesday or Thursday where he was running? That ankle does not look healthy. He's going to go, but I think if you just need safety, AJ Dillon. But if we're assuming he goes and he's going to play a full complement of snaps, it is Davis.
Bateman or Garrett Wilson. Me and Giraldi were on Bateman. Who you got here, Robbie?
Bateman.
First question from Ronnie here. Who should I start, Brady or Fields?
Brady.
This is Brady, but it's not I don't think it's a crazy question given everything going on, but it's Brady. Ravens or Chiefs defense?
That would be...
It's going to be the Chiefs for me.
Ravens for me. Yeah, Ravens against Patriots. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting the Ravens D on that one.
Yeah, that Patriots offense just looks dysfunctional.
Mm-hmm.
Can I show you the Colts offense?
No Pittman. Hey, let's give him a little bit of a pass. The Lord and Savior Pittman is back.
And then can I trust Keenan Allen and Judy today? It seems like Judy is going to go. He's going to test it out pregame, and then Keenan Allen, I haven't seen anything on him yet. I would definitely have a backup plan in place. But it seems like Judy will go.
Yeah, we never like the players who don't practice at all on Friday. So I'm leaning, and I benched in my leagues Keenan Allen until I hear otherwise.
Carr or Wentz this week to stream?
Oh, that's right there. They are neck and neck. I think I have Carr.
I'm going to go Carr, yeah.
Yeah, I have Carr 2 spots ahead.
Yeah, even with Renfrow out.
Trade question. Looking to sell high on Garrett Wilson. Not a bad idea. Weak at running back, strong at wide receiver. Which running back should I target to get? One problem at a time. The way that I would do this, just to try and keep things moving here, because we are getting close on time. Look around. This is the easiest way for anybody to make a trade. If you're looking to sell high on somebody, just looking to sell someone in general, looking to trade and get somebody. look around at your league, see who is, weak at the position that you want and strong at the position you're trying to get, right? So look at someone who maybe went running back heavy. There's definitely somebody in your league that took 3 running backs out of the first 6 rounds, right? There's someone that went, running back heavy. Now they're weak at receiver. Maybe even they took a tight end early. Look to see like where you can make a match. So that like that's the easiest way to do it. I don't know that you're going to get an RB1 out of Garrett Wilson. So you're probably looking at somebody like
Sanders. Sanders, I think.
Dave Montgomery, Damian Pierce, like that sort of running back. But the easiest way, look at the other teams in your leagues and try and make a match that way.
Mm-hmm.
Killer Quicks, whenever we stream, we just stream out to all these. So like we're not streaming to Twitch specifically. So I don't even know how Twitch necessarily works. But that would be nice to have you as our first sub. Emmanuel joining us from the motherland. Good morning to you. Need 3 wide receivers in a flex, full PPR 10 team. London, A-Rob, Cooks, Wilson, Davis. So 3 wide receivers. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to sit 2. I'm going to sit Garrett Wilson.
That was the easy one for you.
And then it's close. It's close to me between Davis and London. Where do you guys lean on that one? I'll take the easy one.
I'll sit London. Again, kind of going back to the Pitts conversation. I don't think they can support 2 every week. And I do think this is going to be let's get Pitts involved. We haven't had good success. We need to get some dubs, get Pitts involved.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I lean London a little bit over Gabe. I know if they're rolling him out, he should be good to go. But
that's fair.
It's yeah.
And then who do we like at the flex? Do we want to throw in Gabe or do we want to go one of the running backs?
I'd probably take CEH.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I like Miles.
Miles has looked fantastic and gotten more work overall than CEH.
Better matchup too. But I'm outvoted. We're going to keep moving on. Jacob Johnson, DJ Moore, or Miles Sanders. I'm going Miles Sanders.
Yeah. It's close.
Doesn't matter what you think, Robbie. Girardi agreed with me. Joshua needs some help on Patterson or Bateman in the flex.
I'll go Bateman.
Bateman for me as well. Do I start James Conner or Kittle in a 12-team PPR? Being that this is a PPR, Ali also has Pitts at tight end. I'm going to double up on the tight ends. I'm going to go Kittle and Pitts.
Yeah, I'll start James Conner.
I just don't want to trust that injury in this matchup. Probably going to be playing from behind, and it's not like Conner is some fantastic pass catching back. So I think they potentially work in and maybe even Darrell Williams if Conner is a game time decision. Split the difference. Giraldi, who you got?
Man, that's tough.
Are they both the later game? Are they both the later game?
The Niners are tonight, and then the Cardinals Rams is in the afternoon or at the 4 p.m. ones.
Yeah. See what you hear on Conner.
Yeah, there should be reports from beat writers saying how he was doing in pregame warmups and how he looked. Right now as it stands, I'd go Kittle.
Will the Don start 2 in a PPR? CD, Bateman, Samuel, DK, Garrett Wilson. Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's going to be the first 2 for me, but Samuel is knocking on the door.
Yeah, and I thought the same thing. First 2 for me, but I think DK with Gino going to open it up. Let's see what happens there. Give me CD and Bateman.
23 attempts incoming, baby. DK, Juju, A-Rob at the flex here for Brandon.
A-Rob, but I like Juju a lot.
Same. I'm gonna go A-Rob as well. Tyler Buck, Pierce, Judy, or Dylan.
This one's hard. Giraldi, you go first.
I think I'd have Pierce, Dylan, Judy. Like
I would have Dylan last, so it's between the first two for me. Robbie, who you got?
Judy.
Let's roll Judy then. Ball glove. Who's a better bench stash, Cooks or Brian Robinson in the PPR? I think it's Brian Robinson, but with the way that Gibson has played well, I don't think he's done poorly enough that it's just going to be Robinson as the 1A, Gibson as 1B, and then McKissick as 1C. Like I think both of these situations are going to be very muddled. Like Moss's look good at times, Singletary's look good at times. James Cook should be the pass catching back. I'm going to lean Robinson here, but it's closer than it was before Brian Robinson's incident happened, right?
Yeah.
Kamara, Monty, Sanders, pick one.
Oh, this is Kamara.
I'm on Monty.
Oh, I like it though.
Giraldi, I was hoping I could just skip. I
love Monty Love.
I'm gonna go Kamara as well, but I like that group. That's a difficult decision. It's close between all those three. Edmonds or Zay Jones in a PPR.
God.
JC Jackson out. That helps.
I'll stick with Edmonds.
Yeah, I'm going Chase barely.
Random hero: Cooks, Kirk, London in the flex.
I'd go Kirk.
That's very close between them. Cooks is so close to just having this fantastic game, though. Almost had it last week. I'm gonna go Cooks. I got one spot apart. Give me Cooks.
I'm gonna go Cooks as well, but it's super close.
Very close.
Pierce, Judy, Dylan.
We just had this.
Oh yeah, you're right. Good call. Gabe Davis or Wilson. I'm gonna go Gabe Davis, even if he's a little banged up. I still trust that more than Joe Flacco. Kyle Pitts or Everett. Kittle, Pitts, or Everett. That IPA is starting to kick in. We need to hurry this up.
We're rocking the IPA life. I didn't even know.
I am. Giraldi's on the mimosa life right now.
Oh, I just have standard water. I'm an idiot.
Well, I mean, you could pretend it's Miller Lite, and you're completely fine.
That's
might have
worse.
more alcohol.
Water has more alcohol than Miller Lite, maybe. Give me Kittle.
I'm going Kittle. Bateman or Ayuk in a half PPR. I'm gonna go Bateman, but it's close.
Yes.
Trash game. Kittle or Hollywood. Why did I say Kittle? That wasn't even an option. Samuel or Hollywood.
Give me Hollywood.
Yep.
Tomb King, our guy, AC, joining us. Who'd you start in a PPR? Wilson, Dylan, Pollard, Kirk.
Wait. Is this against me in the TFA Listener League? Wait, before we answer.
It's going to be Kirk for me regardless, and I hope you smack Robbie around.
Yeah, choose your own fate here.
Giraldi as the independent party. Who do you got?
I mean, I'm taking Wilson barely.
All right, I'm not playing him. I'm playing Kingdom.
Okay.
I will go. My name is Jeff. Jeff Wilson.
Tua or Russ is going to be Tua for me. AJ Dillon or J Rob. I'm finally going to say AJ Dillon. I think J Rob struggles today.
Going back to the last question, Russ is going to go off. Russ is going off tonight. I just want it to be noted here. 11:23 a.m. Central Standard Time. Russ is going off. This is going to be
going back to this question: AJ Dillon or J. Rob?
This one's James Robinson.
You got to split the difference here, Giraldi. Who you got?
I go Dillon.
Stafford or Cousins?
Cousins.
Cousins for me as well. Albert O or Knox? I'm going to go Knox here. I haven't seen if he is active or not, but if he is, it's going to be Knox for me. Minix, Kirk or Hollywood?
Again, one. Oh, no, that was Cooks last time. That's, again, close. I'll go Hollywood.
I'm going to lean Hollywood as well.
Yep.
And then Everett or Knox? I'm going to go Everett.
Yeah.
I will go Knox.
Brown or Gabe Davis, assuming this is Amon-Ra. Is there another Brown that I'm not thinking of?
Marquise.
I see. Yep, right below it.
Let's go Hollywood. I actually have him as a top 12 guy this week.
I'm going to go Gabe Davis. Giraldi, break the tie.
Whatever Brown it is.
Any of the Browns.
Any of the Browns. Cleveland Brown.
Julio, Bateman, Edmonds. PPR for Brett.
Bateman.
I'll take Bateman. Julio playing.
Looks like Julio is a true game time decision, so I don't want to mess with that. Kirk or Terry McLaurin. This one's going to be Christian Kirk for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Goff or Mariota. I'm going to go Goff.
Mm-hmm.
Already got this one. Rookie to stash here for Modoc. Moore, Pickens, or Olave. I'm assuming we're all going Olave there.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
And then are we buying into Evan Ingram over Tanyan? I like Tanyan this week because the Bucks struggle against tight ends, and Tanyan is one of like 1.5 options for the Packers at this point.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, Tanyan's fine. I mean, they're similar, right? You need a touchdown from one of them.
Russ or Goff? I'm going Russ there. Robbie, I'm assuming if he's going off this week, you also have Russ. Our guy Ashton in the chat. Start one in a PPR tight end premium. Dortch, Gordon, Woods, or Irv Smith. It's between 1 and 4 for me.
1 and 4. Yeah, let's go Dortch.
I go Dortch.
Dortch.
KC or Atlanta for the defense. I'm going KC. I do like Atlanta for like if you needed, like if I said this in the defensive streamer video, like if you needed to like really dig down deep, because like, you know, let's say you're in a home league and people are rostering 2 defenses and like defenses are widely available. I do sneakily like Atlanta in this matchup, but I'm going to go KC.
KC.
Aguilar or Lazard? Throwing this one to you, Giraldi.
I'm taking Aguilar.
Joe Villa, A-Rob, Sutton, Hollywood, Metcalf. We need 2 in a PPR. Going to be the first 2 for me.
Middle 2 for me, Sutton and Hollywood.
Giraldi?
Take the first 2.
Mike Williams or Rashad Bateman? I'm going to go Bateman.
Ooh. Mike Williams.
I'll go Bateman as the tiebreaker, I guess.
So Mike does not have a defense. So we need to drop one. I'm going to drop Carter, but who are we picking up? And I lean Dallas.
I'm not going to rock Dallas. If Micah Parsons isn't out there, I think it's not going to be pretty. Give me Bengals against Joe Flacco.
Who are you dropping?
I'll drop Michael Carter.
Giraldi, break the tie on the defense.
I'm going Cincy, yeah, because the thing is if you take Dallas, you're waiting on that Parsons news, and then you're not picking up anybody because your opponent should be smart, pick up the Giants and that defense.
Dortch or Cam Akers?
Cam Akers.
Ooh. Fuck, that's tough. I think I'd lean.
That's
Akers.
closer than it. That's way.
It should.
It's closer than it should be.
Imagine saying that to our July selves.
Right.
Wait, why are we talking about Greg Dortch in July?
Do I need to pick him up in Dynasty?
I'm gonna go. My God, am I actually gonna? I'm gonna go Dortch. Geraldo, you have to break the tie.
He said Dortch, didn't he?
No, I said Akers. I said
okay.
Akers just barely.
Okay, Lockett, Ayuk, Juju. We need one here from Mike.
Juju.
I'm going to go Juju as well, so we're going to move on. Alexis just put Myers in my IR, had a free spot, picked up P. Ryan in case Mixon gets hurt today. That's fine. That's a play you can make. The just in case play, because then P. Ryan obviously becomes the number one waiver target probably if Mixon goes down.
Yep.
Bateman or Jacobs the flex. I'm going to go Bateman here.
He traveled. Jacobs is going to go, I would assume, if he's making the trip.
Said he's going to see how he feels pregame.
Yeah.
His is just an illness, right? Like it's
just injury. Illness. I'm going to go Josh Jacobs here.
Drink some Pedialyte.
Sounds like Girardi is also leaning Jacobs. Ashton with Jacoby out. Start one PPR tight end premium. Watson, Skronek, AJ Green, Cam Brate, or Marvin Jones. Well, Christian Watson is out.
I mean, I'm
Ashton,
going.
what is this a 32-team league, Ashton? What is happening here?
This is brutal. I mean, it's Marv, right?
I think so.
Like with Watson being out, like it's not really much of a debate all that much.
Wilson or Samuel?
Wait.
I'm assuming Garrett. What?
Ooh,
Curtis Samuel. Okay. I was like, why are we sitting Debo? Yeah, Curtis.
Curtis.
And the Wilson side is
Garrett.
Jeff Wilson.
I'm assuming Garrett.
Ooh, we need some first names here. I'm getting all twisted. I'm playing Jeff Wilson if it's Jeff Wilson. If it's Garrett Wilson, I will play Curtis Samuel.
Yeah.
And if it's Debo, I'm playing Debo.
Penny or Dobbins here for Petey.
Ooh.
I can't trust Dobbins in this first game back.
No.
So I'm going to go Penny, but it's closer than it should be, all things considered. T-Dog, pick 2, Cooks, Allen, MT, or Gabe Davis.
We need to decide on those other ones. Gabe Davis is going early, right? He's going here in 30 minutes. Yeah. Give me Cooks and Gabe Davis because you can't. Oh, MT snuck in there too. Give me Michael Thomas and Cooks.
Same for me. Air White over on Twitch, pick 2, London, Wilson, Sutton, Gibson, and a PPR.
Sutty.
It's going to be Sutton and Gibson.
Sutton and Gibson. Yeah.
Over on Facebook, Self, good morning, fellas. Good morning to you. PPR and a flex, Lazard, Lamb, or Aguilar?
Lamb.
And Lamb for me still. Sanders or London at the flex and a full PPR for Mike. I'm going Sanders.
Sanders, yeah. He's look good.
Pierce or Aguilar at the flex?
Pierce.
Go Pierce as well.
They're testing me.
J-Rob or Christian Kirk. This is going to be Christian Kirk across the board, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Monty or Swift. This is going to be Swift, even though we do like Monty a bunch. Seems like Swift should be more involved this week from reports. Pollard or Pierce. I'm going to go Pierce here. Everyone just keep
Yep.
keep nodding and keep rolling. Kirk Cousins to Matt Stafford. I have Herbert, but I don't know. I haven't seen any updates on Herbert yet. I don't know if you guys have.
I mean,
But I would
from the way that the total dropped. I mean, Vegas ain't losing that kind of money.
Correct.
Like if it's going down by almost a full touchdown, like Vegas isn't giving away free money on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I pulled him from my rankings.
who do you guys got here? I know we've had like similar questions with all three of these guys, but how do you have them ranked?
Is this for like DFS? How do we have all these quarterback options here? I'll go
Probably
Cousins.
team, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but 4? Are you saying like Stafford and Tua were on the waivers? Give me Cousins, then Tua, and then Stafford.
Drawdy, who's your one?
Tua.
I'll go
Cody, who's
Cousins
your
to break the tie.
Oh.
Marcos over on Facebook, half PPR, Michael Thomas for Gabe Davis.
MT.
Already got that one. Aquaman. Infamous Mel rocking with us once again. London or Davis? I'm going to go Gabe Davis just with overall game script and and quarterback. Ghost, full PPR and a flex. Wilson or Penny? It's going to be Wilson for me.
Yep.
If Herbert doesn't play, we need one in a super flex. Daniel, well, Christian Watts is not going to play. I'm not going to play AJ Green over a quarterback.
Play the QB.
Yeah, unless you're in like a Scott Fishbowl kind of settings, Daniel should be a little bit better.
Or those Bosch Eliminator settings. Good God.
Yeah, my Lord.
Ugly. They're ugly.
Sutton, London, Gibson, Wilson, and a PPR. We need 2 here for Aaron. It's going to be Sutton and Gibson. Gibson for me.
Yep.
Thielen, Connor, or Michael Carter. Gonna go Thielen.
Connor, but Thielen's getting his touchdown. He's getting his touchdown this week.
I think
break the tie, Giraldi. Who you got?
I think I'm a shade more Connor than Thielen, but it's very close.
Same.
Have Herbert could pick up Kirk Cousins on the wire. Would you wait for Herbert or start Kirk? I'm just gonna start Kirk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm starting Kirk over those other options. I would just pick him up and play him. Kamara or Connor. Battle of the injured RBs. I'm gonna go Kamara. Keenan if he plays, or A-Rob. I'm just going to go A-Rob here.
Yeah, do you have to make that decision early? Because Keenan's the later game?
No, they're both afternoon games. Or the later window.
Just go A-Rob.
Irv, Logan, or Everett.
Ooh.
I'm going to go Logan.
Yeah,
It's between Logan Thomas and Everett for me.
Yes.
Give me Irv. Give me big Irv.
Looking at Irv.
Give me big Irv, man. He's playing the full complement of snaps again. He looked good, other than the drop, right? But man, if he had caught that, oh man, give me Irv.
There'd be a lot of narrative differentials this week.
There is a chance where Thielen is washed. I hate to say it, and Irv Smith is that number 2 in that offense. There is that chance.
Gerardi, who you got here?
This is when the Irv Smith hype train was all about, right? Like it's finally kind of like showing it. So I mean, I think that game has the highest potential for just kind of a shootout.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I think I just go for the game script. I'll take Irv.
CB needs 1 wide receiver and 1 running back. Zeke or Pierce. So let's start there. I'm gonna go Zeke, but it's close.
Yeah, I mean they're right next to each other. I do have Zeke higher.
Washed too, though, right?
What's that?
He's starting to look washed, isn't he?
Game one against the Bucs, he looked actually really good. Game 2, he did not.
Like last week, it was just like, man, every time Pollard and him would be in, it was like.
do we want to start 2 Dallas players here with Zeke and Lamb? So let's
No.
use that as a tiebreaker. Let's go Pearson.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Guillotine League with the Superflex need 2 quarterbacks. I love Guillotine Leagues, by the way. My favorite.
Dude, they're wild.
My favorite way to play redraft by far. Stafford, Matt Ryan, and the big question mark being Herbert.
I guess wait and then start Stafford if Herbert's out. If Herbert's going, I'm starting Herbert over Stafford. But if he's out, then you can roll with
Over
Stafford.
Stafford? What about Matt Ryan?
Oh, you need 2 quarterbacks here.
I'm going to start. If Herbert goes, I'm starting him over Matt Ryan.
Is Matt Ryan also a later game?
Nope.
Oh,
I think
see, you're going to have to start Matt Ryan to make sure you have 2 quarterbacks for sure. And then you're starting Herbert over Stafford. And if Herbert doesn't go, then you're obviously starting Stafford.
I'd be very curious what his best flex available option is on the bench out of quarterback, though. Like, just curious, like, if he has someone with a double-digit floor.
Are you sitting Matt Ryan with Pittman back against the Chiefs team? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not playing up. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, there's a low chance he has a flex that's going to compare to that. But
is this a Bosch guillotine league with the points? Because Matt Ryan might hurt you there.
Monty or Javante?
I'm taking Montgomery.
I just want to throw this one up so we can think about it. Best RB to stash with an empty roster. Oh my God, can you not? This kid, what is? Alexis, appreciate the this. Go play, please. I'm almost done. Coming in like Darth Vader with veggie straws hanging out of his mouth. Just gonna throw this one up here so we can think about it. But I think like P. Ryan is an okay option, like someone mentioned in the in the stream earlier. But we'll throw that one up here. Yeah, Rashad White, I really like if he's available. So that's a good call as well.
Zamir White could be another one.
Okay.
Like super low rostered on most formats.
Yep.
Assuming we're going Michael Thomas here over these options across the board.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Have Keenan Connor, who are questionable. DJ Moore on my bench plays at 1, and A. Robin plays at 4. Just sub either of those guys in for Connor or Allen. A. Rob over DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Need a flex PPR, Judy, ETN, Edmonds, Landry, Gage.
Judy
for me as well. Carr or Wentz?
Close. I'll take Carr.
Yep.
Play Carr or wait for Herbert?
I
think Carr's fine.
Yeah, Carr should be fine, even without Renfro. He still has Adams and Waller.
Tanny or Herbert?
Ooh, I would wait.
I would wait.
Yeah, I'm waiting as well. Zeke or Akers?
Taking Akers.
Zeke as well, but I don't love it. Sutton, Gabe Davis at the flex. We're gonna go Sutton here across the board. Half PPR, Eli Henderson, AJ Dillon, Damian Pierce, Jeff Wilson.
Going back to Tommy's real quick, if you wait for Herbert and he's out, just pick up Jimmy. I'm assuming Jimmy's available. This one, I'm going to go Jeff Wilson.
I'm going to go Pierce over Wilson. Giraldi.
It's between those two for me. I will take Wilson just because he doesn't have really any competition behind him.
Kirk or Juju?
Yep. I'm fine with it.
Kirk.
Kamara or a DK is going to be Kamara.
Yeah.
Kirk at the flex or Kyle Pitts?
Probably Kirk.
Yeah, assuming that this isn't tight end premium, I would take Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Thomas or Brandon Cooks? It's going to be Cooks for me.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Let's do it. Go Cooks.
No worries for Fournette there, Noel. Knox or Thomas at tight end. I'm going to go Knox if he plays, but if he, for whatever, I haven't seen anything. If for some reason he doesn't go, I think Thomas is fine to pivot to.
Yep.
Brady, Rodgers, or Goff?
You had said Goff, right, on Wednesday's show over Brady.
I will
keep Brady over Goff. I think we did a little bet on that one. It should be close.
Giraldi split the diff.
Goff.
All right, guys, we're going to answer like 3 more questions here. We do have to run. This is the first time this has ever happened, so I really apologize to anyone who has rocked with us the entire time. Jump in the Discord or put your question on. If you don't want to join the Discord, put your question on another one of our videos, and I'll hop in and answer it that way. But we all have lineups and DFS and stuff to check for ourselves. So a couple more questions here. Again, really apologize. This is legitimately the first time this has ever happened, and I don't know how, but we appreciate all you guys rocking with us. Please like and subscribe if you have yet to do so. Hurst over Henry, yay or nay?
Yep, Hurst.
Saints or Cowboys defense? I'm going Saints.
Yeah.
MT, Pierce, or Curtis Samuel?
I'm going Michael Thomas, and then Aaron Jones, and then Pitts.
I'm going Thomas, Gibson, and Pitts.
I'll break the tie on the running backs because I agree with the other ones. I'd take Aaron Jones.
Irv Smith or Pitts?
Pitts.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Tua Fields or Jones. This is easily going to be Tua for us, Marcus. Wide receiver 3, Waddle, Cup, Samuel, Thielen. I'm assuming we need 3. There's no way Cup is your wide receiver 3. So it's going to be the first 3 for me.
Yeah.
And then at running back, I'm keeping in Eckler and Fournette, not starting any of those other guys over your other options. Juju or Dobbins in a non-PPR, not rocking with Dobbins week 1. Juju should be in a fine matchup. Going to go Juju there. Herbert, Jimmy G, or Wentz?
Herbert.
I'm just going to...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm waiting for Herbert. If he doesn't go, then I'm playing Jimmy G.
Yeah, that's the way to go on that one.
Russ or Goff, we're going to go Russ there. Russ or Flacco, we're going Russ there.
Jesus.
Sutton, Kirk, CD, Bateman.
First 2, I don't know how many you need. Or just one, Sutton.
Yeah, just one Sutton. I would rank them in the order that you have them here.
Correct. Yep.
Herbert with the injury. My Lord, a lot of QB questions with Herbert. Aaron Rodgers or Trevor Lawrence? I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because then you can also wait for that one too if you have Herbert and Lawrence.
Yep.
Yeah. Higbee or Everett?
Higbee.
Tua or Russ? And then the Cortland stack is here.
Russ,
I'm going Tua.
I'm sticking to it. Give me Russ.
Giraldi, who you got? Break the tie.
Go Tua.
He's got Tua.
Kamara or Henry?
Kamara.
Yeah.
Anderson or Irv?
Irv.
Cooks or Samuel?
Cooks.
Pierce over Henderson and Mooney. Have Judy game time decision, possibly on a snap count if he plays. I think Judy's is going to be more of a pain tolerance thing. So I think if he plays, he's not going to be on a snap count. Obviously, he can re-injure that and bounce out. But yes, Pierce over them, and then I would put. I think I'm going to go Henderson. I think I would play it safe. If you need 2 of these guys, it's Pierce and Henderson. Everett or Hawk?
Give me Hawkinson.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis or Julio is going to be Gabe.
Yep.
Rodgers or Carr? I'm going to go Carr.
Carr.
Jimmy G or Baker? I'm going to go Jimmy G.
Yep.
Carr. Rogers already got that one. Wilson, Davis, Keenan in the flex. If Keenan plays, you're playing him. If not, I'm going to go Jeff Wilson.
Yep.
Last one here. Have PPR choose two. J-Rob, A-Rob, Wilson, Marquise Brown.
Going A-Rob and Hollywood.
Same for me as well. Again, really apologize. We did not get to all these questions, guys. Like I said, drop a comment in one of our other YouTube videos that are not currently going on so we can see the comment. We'll answer them there, or jump into the Discord. Good luck in week 3. Again, really sorry. Hit us with a sub and a like if you so choose to do so. Have a great week 3. Talk to you soon.